And welcome back to our WText tutorial on the WText widget. So far you've seen where we've displayed simple text, and we've displayed HTML, and we've even used a for loop to display multiple values, and even used placeholders with our WTString to display header tags from 1 to 5. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can actually write HTML using text, a large amount of it. I'm actually going to do a copy and paste, and then at the very end I'm going to show you how you can display HTML tags onto the browser screen without them being rendered. So as you can see from our previous example, we already have our code. So what I want to do now is what we have been doing is do our response object, reinitialize it, and this time going to give it some blank text. I'm going to change it to, you don't have to do this, but this is just for our example, unsafe XHTML text, and then add it to our app root. Again, you don't have to add the format because by default it will display XHTML. But for our case, I just want to show you that you can also change the format. So in this example, we're going to set the text. And I'm not actually going to write all of this text. I'm actually going to cheat and do some copy and pasting because it's quite a bit of HTML. But basically this HTML is a table, and how to show how you can do a web page layout using a table. I know some people would frown upon that, but again, this is just an example. And let me see, it didn't format it the way I want it to be. See it line up? Yeah. All right, there we go. Well, not quite. All right, that's better. And if you just look at this text that I copy and pasted, notice in Witty you can take a text and you don't have to concatenate it. You can just have each piece of text on its own individual line, and the library is smart enough to add all that text together. So as you can see, looking at the HTML, we have a table with a border, but this is not going to render. The library, I noticed it's not perfect, but it's not going to render that border. At least it didn't for me. But it will center the table. It will make the table 100%, a width of 100% across the browser. And then you have one row here, and another row. And then you have your columns. Here's a column for the footer, for the right sidebar, the content in the middle, the left sidebar. I even did some styling to style some of the borders. I tried to style the entire table up here, but apparently it didn't work. And I did some styling here. Made a column span of 3 for this particular column to display the Witty website name. And if you just go ahead and compile and display this, you'll see what it looks like. So we compile. Then if we run it, and it already refreshed the browser window for us. And as you can see, here's the Witty website name, the left sidebar, the right sidebar. There's the content that's in the middle. Of course, you have your left sidebar here. And here's your footer. And you could do this from a text file. You could do this the way I just did it, writing it up in the code itself. I'll show you in the next example how to do it from XML files, and that's how the Witty web page is created. They actually take XML files, and you can do your HTML content that way. And they also have something called Witty templates, and we'll get to that as we move along in the tutorial. So the last thing I want to do is to show you how to display HTML tags without it actually rendering into the browser. So again, we're going to create another response object. And this is just an example from their website. And we have to set the format to plain text. As you can see, we have that. I'm going to do another one. And you really can't see that tag if it got rendered. And I'm going to do this last one. And actually, I need to make that more complete. Plain text, app, root. Make this plain text and app root. And if we go ahead and compile this, and we run this, of course I didn't do a break tag, but as you can see are different HTML tags. And you know, that's the wonderful thing about this library. You don't have to actually try to figure out how we're going to escape the HTML. It's already done for you. So that renders as plain text in the browser even though it's HTML. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.